Because every day above ground is a good day. Some are just more questionable than others. Questionable call, Wednesday edition, 7 on the board. We roll immediately into a birthday party setup. And these people clearly big fans of The Office. Take a look at this. It is your birthday. That's a joke from The Office. He's got Dwight Schrute on his shirt. That's the Dave Batista Bomb music. He's thinking, he's weighing his options. Should he, shouldn't he? And all of a sudden, the urge overcomes him, and it is a Batista Bomb. So says C-Cat. Question on the board. Question. Awesome execution or arrest this man. Her body language did not indicate surprise or confusion. It appears to me she was in on this. She knew what he was going to do. He had it timed out perfectly, the music, all of it. I'm saying it seems to me like she knew what was coming. And by the way, awesome execution. If she didn't know, arrest that man. And that didn't look like a table, by the way, that's supposed to break. Just saying. Shout out C-Cat for the heads up on Batista Bomb. We continue on in the countdown to number 6. Malik Hooker of the Dallas Cowboys on a podcast talking about Micah Parsons, who hosts his own podcast, is a distraction. Take a look at what Micah Parsons, actually, what Malik Hooker said about Micah Parsons.
My thing would be, though, for Micah, my advice would be for Micah would be, just make sure we're all right, where and being where your feet are. Because if we're at work and, the run game's terrible, but you're doing a podcast every week and the run game is terrible, then, what are you really caring about? Are you caring about the crowd that, is watching your podcast? Are you caring about the success of our team and the Super Bowl that we're trying to reach? See what I'm saying? So.
Yeah, that was Malik Hooker about teammate Micah Parsons in the podcast that he hosts. Well, take a look at what Hooker posted on social media to try and clarify. And I'm going to speak on this once. Micah Parsons is little bro. No, his podcast isn't hurting nothing. Don't fall for bait. He knows what I meant and knows me. Winky kind of heads up and Laffy. See y'all at training camp. All right, that's fine and all. But then here's what Micah Parsons posted on Twitter. Just wish you said this to me, but instead on some podcast. Not Keyshawn's, but some, notice he said. And you got my number. By the way, you can just call me. And you're my locker mate. So you could have said this any day. A lot of exclamation marks. And you do realize I shoot the podcast on our off day. Now he's defending himself. Why ain't we talking about everyone preparation and focus leading up to the game week? When he says everyone, he's saying, how about everybody else? I mean, I can point out a lot of other things, but I'm just not, meaning I'm not the only one that does stuff. Question is on the board. Question. Is this a legit problem or a whole lot of nothing? We got a big problem in Big D. And the Big D stands for big drama. This is Malik Hooker saying, I'm not saying, I'm just saying. This is a problem. He can try and post on Instagram to clarify. Micah Parsons came back and said that. But what Micah did was make the problem worse. Because in effect, what he said was, okay, well, I'm not the only one that's not doing all they should be doing. It's not an admission of guilt as much as it is, what about the rest of them? What about everybody else? For a town and a team that always has drama surrounding them, what they don't need is more internally. This is a legitimate problem, and they might better figure it out, because what happened in the postseason last year, the Green Bay Packers, can never, ever happen again. I don't like where this team's head is at. You've got wide receivers' mothers saying, get my kid out of there. You've got the quarterback's brothers on social media saying, I wish he would go somewhere else. Big D stands for drama in Dallas. We continue on in the countdown up to number 5. Presented by St. Lucie Battery and Tire, the home of honest, reliable service since 1970. Road trip season. Go to slbt.com. 18 locations, South Florida. Birthday parties. We had a clip last week about a kid blowing out the candles of the sister, the cousin, and the kid. And then you saw how that worked out. Take a look at this one. This one's more preventative. Look at the block. The block. Look at the block is on. The block is on. Kid is furious. Furious. Watch it one more time. The block. The block again. Watch the right side of the screen. Oh. Birthday boy's got his tongue out. He's pleased that the little one is crying. Meanwhile, you got sneaky big boy on the right-hand side. Look at the still frame. Let's break this down. Let's look inside the numbers. Number 1 is the boy wanting in on the blowout. He's getting blocked routinely. He winds up crying. Number 2, focused on the prize at hand, birthday boy. But 3, you notice he came in the frame. He actually is the one that blew out 2 of those candles on the right-hand side. The big boy on the right, he snuck it in. No wonder baby boy number 1 is crying. He didn't get none of that blow. All right, questions on the board. Question, which is funnier, the blocking motion or the little boy crying? When little kids cry because they get frustrated and mad, it's hilarious. Especially when they're being little jerks. This kid was trying to ruin the birthday. He wanted to make it about him, like the girl 2 weeks ago. I love the fact that he's crying, and I love the fact that it makes the actual birthday boy stick his tongue out, and he's happy about it. Funny, blocking, funnier that you are crying. Have some of that, little boy. Your birthday will be coming around, and then see how you like it. We continue on in the countdown. By the way, hit like on this video and hit subscribe while you're at it. Number 4, presented by Celsius, Essential Energy, Live Fit, Celsius. Get some this holiday weekend. All right, we got a foul ball in Major League Baseball. We got a man and we got a little girl, and they are in chase, hot pursuit for this ball. Take a look at what happened first, and then we'll play a guessing game. Take a look. There's the man. He's climbing over. She's trying. He's got the ball. He's celebrating, and then he's going to celebrate. He's going to show the little girl what's up. What's up, little girl? What do you think happened? Do you think that he just ignored her and went back to his seat with the ball? Or do you think that maybe he stopped and gave her the ball? You know, like a man should do. What do you think he did? Let's take a look at the rest of the story. Here it is. All right, he's climbing his way down. He finds it. She didn't get there. He's celebrating. Now he's taunting her, and he stops. And what does he say to her? And then he hands her the ball. And now she begins to celebrate and make her way back to her seat. How was she above and then she's going back down? Why was she climbing down the seats, but then she's sitting below? I don't understand. She got multiple seats. What's going on, little girl? Anyway, the question is on the board. Question: are you obligated to give the ball to a kid? It depends. If you have a kid with you, that's who you give the ball to. If you're in a section with a lot of people, okay, and there are random people, they might have kids, and anybody could get it, and you're with a date, then you give her first right of refusal. If it is you and a little kid chasing after a ball, you can grab it, but you absolutely have to give it to the kid. So again, if you're in a crowd, you're sitting with a bunch of people and you happen to grab it, no obligation. If you're fighting for it, if you're fighting literally for it, like he was with a little kid, you have to give the ball to a little kid. End of story. We continue on in the countdown up to number 3 from this Wednesday edition, and this is slightly terrifying. Summertime, 4th of July weekend, swimming pools, all good in the hood. Never seen a pool quite like this. Take a look. So you're walking, and it's all good, and then, oh, look at the view. Infinity Edge, I guess, right? And then what the hell is that? What the hell just happened? How is that even possible? Yeah. Thanks, maybe no thanks. That is a glass bottom pool in Houston that's way up in the sky. Sky pool. Questions on the board. Question, sky pool. Are you in or are you out? Hell yeah, I'm in. I love pools. I love views. I love being up high. This is all my favorite things all combined. 1 and 1 and 1 and 1 combined makes 1,000. You ever seen that bridge, though, in China? That's glass bottom bridge. But it's LCD screen. And as you're walking across it, some people don't realize they make it seem like it's cracking. They start to and then people almost like fall over the side of it. Yeah, let's not do that. Not in on the pranking, joking. I'm all in on Sky Pool. That looks cool as hell. We continue on all the way to number 2. We are flying on this Wednesday edition. J.J. Redick last week introduced new head coach of the Lakers. LeBron James and he began doing a podcast very late in the season, almost around the time that the Lakers head coaching job became available. Well, J.J. Redick got asked a question about LeBron and any advice that he gave J.J. in regard to that potential job opening. Take a listen, but listen very closely to the sound off screen of a member of the media who's just not buying J.J. Redick's answer. Listen close.
That you have a very close relationship with LeBron. He could have done a podcast with anybody in the world. He chose to do it with you. What was his advice to you throughout this whole coaching search process?
He didn't provide any advice. LeBron and I did not talk about the Lakers job until Thursday afternoon, about 30 minutes after I was offered the job.
Did you hear that guy? He said, LeBron and I did not talk about the job, and then you heard someone in that room go, oh, come on. Questions on the board. Question, is JJ telling the truth? Yes or no? When we do a thing in court where we raise our hand, we under oath, right? And we swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. And in deception and deceit, and in lying, there are 3 ways that people can lie. Commission, completely making stuff up. Omission, leaving something out. And influence, which means trying to add things that take you off the path, trying to add things to it, instead of saying yes or no, I cheated on my wife. I've been married 35 years. I love my wife. We have 5 kids together. I have grandchildren. That's influence. When you take that oath, you swear to tell the truth, which means you get rid of commission. The whole truth, that means you get rid of omission. Nothing but the truth means you're getting rid of influence. The Founding Fathers figured this out. JJ is not telling the whole truth. He may be flat out lying via commission. He certainly is omitting via omission some aspects. And there are aspects of influence in which he's going around the way. There is no way in hell that JJ Redick and LeBron didn't talk about the possibility of this job or what he should do or how he should position himself or what Rob Pelinka and company want to hear when they have discussions or getting on the same page. The likelihood of these two having no discussion about that is about 0.0%. JJ Redick, more like JJ Ridiculous. Stop, boy. And just like that, all the way to number 1 in the countdown. Courtesy of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys, 800-747-FREE. Take back control of your life. From the UFC, we had UFC 303 this past Saturday night. Peyton Talbot was the biggest favorite on the board. He was like minus 1,600. He won his fight in 19 seconds. He, again, won his fight in 19 freaking seconds. He goes on Ariel Helwani's show. Here's what he said about post-fight.
Did you watch prayer or did you leave?
No, they kick you out.
Yeah,
They don't even, they're like, do you have a ticket? And I was like, I just fought. And they're like, no exceptions, man. I was like, are you joking?
They legit walk you out of the building.
Yeah, they wouldn't let me back in.
They legit walk you out of the building. They wouldn't let me back in. Questions on the board. Question, is the UFC wrong for this? Yes or no? A couple summers ago, I was covering my buddy Tyron Woodley fighting Jake Paul in Cleveland. And there are prelim fights. And I'm a member of the media. I'm down the media floor. And a fighter who had just finished his fight, he came out because he wanted to watch. He wanted to be amongst the people. He wanted to take selfies with fans. And the security people were like, sir, where's your ticket? He said, I just fought. And they're like, we don't care. Where's your ticket? And they didn't believe him. I literally had to intervene and tell the security guard, no, he did just fight. He lost, but he did just fight. And they let him stay, and he thanked me accordingly. The UFC is wrong for this. It's not a COVID thing anymore. You've got a suite. You've got celebrities. I saw Donald Trump Jr. and Mel Gibson and Max Crosby. You're telling me dudes and women that just fought, whether you won or lost, they can't hang around? This kid was like literally the finish of the night. And he's got to go home as soon as he's done because they're treating it like he's a work employee. Can't stay and watch the rest of the fight. They are absolutely wrong for this. Hit like. Hit subscribe, and make sure you watch the Friday episode when it drops, 4th of July Weekend Spectacular. And remember, kids, while every day above ground is a good day, some are just more questionable than others. Say goodnight to the bad guy. Happy 4th.